All right, welcome back to another episode of our podcast. And what's this shit called again?
All is fair in between the lines.
All is fair in between the lines. Today, we're going to do something a little bit more fun. We're going to rank all 32 NFL starting quarterbacks. At least we're going to try to. And here's our list. Here's what here's what our list is going to be. We're going to do elite, great, good, average, trash, and to be determined, depending on their situation. So let's just
This,
go ahead and get started with our first guy. First
this
guy is
gonna
going
be
to
tough.
be Tua. Tua, I don't know how to pronounce his last name, but Tua, starting quarterback for the Miami Dolphins. Where are we going to put him at, Darren? Where are we going to figure it out?
This is gonna be a tough thing that we're about to take on, but two is good.
Tua is good.
Two is good. The reason why is because you got to have a good offensive line around him, and he has to have the weapons around. He can't elevate a um average roster. Let's put it like that.
Okay.
Especially on his side of the ball. Especially on his side of the ball.
I'm actually going to agree with you on the Tua being good thing. I think he's a solid quarterback. I don't see that he showed us he can be a great quarterback yet. Maybe he will this year and in the future. I do expect him to get to that tier one day, but I agree
Yeah.
with you. I think he's in the good tier right now. What I didn't tell
Oh,
you though is if somebody's in the same tier, we still got to put them in order in that tier. So yeah,
we
we'll
got to rank these guys.
technically yes,
No, I can't do that,
yes,
bro.
technically yes. I'll show you in a
I
second.
can't. That's too much work.
It won't be that bad. All right. Next up is Trevor Lawrence. I also think Trevor Lawrence is in this good tier. He's not hit this great tier yet, but I'm very high on Trevor Lawrence. I think Trevor Lawrence is the future of the league.
I'm not as high as you. I could tell that for sure. I'll put him in good as well because I've seen his arm talent and what he can do throwing the ball. Uh, I question it though. I question it. Last year they were supposed to win the South, and the Texans came and stole it, and nobody's picking them this year. So
So are we
am I wrong?
putting? You're right. You're right. From that standpoint, are we putting Trevor over Tua or not?
Can't be over to it yet.
I agree with you.
Tua, Tua plays in a tougher conference, tougher division, excuse me, and he's made the playoffs. You can't put him in there. You can't put him over.
Trevor made the playoffs.
You right, and that was a very impressive playoff game. You're right. I don't know actually. You're right. I don't know. Shit, you do got to put him over him. If we're just talking about that one playoff game, yes, you do have to put him over Trevor over too, because he came back against the Chargers that game. You could just say the Chargers were shit. We thought that game was over.
Everybody thought that game was over.
Yeah, I don't know.
All right. Next up, Derek Carr, your old quarterback.
Uh, mm, damn, he's not average, is he? Is he
So
average?
that's what I was about to say. I do not think Derek Carr is average. I think he's above average. So I think we have to put him in the good tier.
Yeah, I'll put him in a good tier. I'll put him in a good tier.
I don't feel like he's done enough though to put over some of these young guys personally. But he's a solid quarterback. He has the knowledge of the league. He's just got good solid quarterback for any team that gets him.
Sam Darnold's a starter. Just
Um,
now.
who's the
Yeah.
starter for? The Vikings?
And, yeah.
Uh okay. Since JJ McCarthy's hurt, we'll go with Sam Darnold. Where are we putting Sam Darnold at, Darren?
Average.
That nigga's trash. Boom.
No.
Because I'm gonna be honest with you, Darren. If Sam Darnold's average, he's the worst average player in the league.
Oh, that's fucked up.
Tell me
Okay,
I'm wrong.
I when he gets with a good offensive coach, he's good. That's my thing. When
When
he's
has he been
with
good in the
a
league? When he's been good, just like good. He's
All
solid.
right.
He's not going to lose you a football game, but he's not going to win you a football game. But he's good.
All right, fair. Fuck it. That's crazy to put him in trash though. Because he if you want to say he's a backup, yes, but trash is wild because you can win games with Sam Darnold. In my opinion, that's the reason why he started.
In this tier list, I think you have to put him in trash. I think you have to put any backup in trash by this tier list standards.
Fair. If that's the standard, cool.
All right, Kyler Murray.
Shit. Shit. Ah,
I feel
convince
like
me.
this one's very polarizing.
Yeah, this one's tough. Um, I can't choose this one. This one's really tough. He's good. I'm just gonna say good.
He's good, but where would you?
Yeah,
I agree with you on that. He's good. Where would you put him at on this good list so far, though? Because I don't know.
I put
I'll
Trevor
put him
over.
over. What? Go ahead.
I put Trevor over Tua, and he's probably behind Tua.
Okay, we're putting Trevor over Tua.
Yeah, and Tyler is.
That looks about right, right? He
I
still
don't
makes
know.
great plays. He's still a playmaker on the field. Can be a game
You gotta
changer.
mix. I think you gotta mix Kyler and Tua. You gotta move them.
You're putting Kyler over Tua.
Yeah, only for the simple fact that he can move. Like the same way I said with Tua, you gotta have a team around him.
Yeah,
Kyler don't really need a great offensive line. He just needs some people that can buy him a little bit of time to read the field.
okay,
Because if his play breaks down, he's out. One of the best escape artists in the league. That's the only reason why.
agreed. All right, next up is Josh Allen. I think he's going to be the first guy we put in the elite tier. I don't think there's any questions about that. Unless you do, unless you have some.
No, I don't know. We're cool.
All right, cool. I think that's pretty straightforward. He can do everything on the field you want. The only thing you could ask from him is not to throw as many picks down the field, specifically from last year. But he does everything you would want in an elite quarterback. In my opinion, the only reason he hasn't been to a Super Bowl is because he's in the same era as Patrick Mahomes.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
This
Sometimes
one's go ahead.
Josh can sometimes drop into the great, only because sometimes it's just too many turnovers. Sometimes he's just trying to be Superman too much. And it's like, bro, sometimes you just got to put the cape down and just run the system.
Sometimes you need to be
Like,
Clark Kent.
yeah, exactly. And that's the only thing with Josh. But that doesn't, I can't take him out of elite though.
Facts. I agree. I think this next one's going to be really hard to do. C.J. Stroud. I think this is really tough.
We got a to be determined, but I don't think this is to be determined. I think he's great. I think he's the first great one that I'll put on here.
You think he's great?
I think he's great.
Maybe it's because he's still young, and I still want to see more from him. The quote unquote, for lack of a better term, prove that season wasn't fluky. Because there is such thing as a sophomore slump. So I kind of want to put him in the good tier. And personally, I would put him behind Trevor.
Fuck no, you're tripping. I'm sorry. No, see. This is why I don't want to do this.
I can't. It's hard for me to put him in the great tier after one season. He did have a great season though.
I gotta put him in great. I'm sorry, I got to.
All right.
Great season, rookie head coach. He's a rookie. His offensive play caller was a rookie, I believe. And then Tank Dell gets hurt midway through the season, and he still goes to the playoffs and win a game against one of the best defenses we've seen in the Cleveland Browns. So I don't know.
I agree with you about the playoff win, but we got to remember the Browns offense folded in that game hard. The Browns folded hard.
Argue the Texans defense just was great, but okay.
All right, another polarizing pick, Dak Prescott. I think this is another one we're going to disagree on.
Yeah,
I'm gonna put Dak in great.
I'm not even going to disagree with you.
I think he's in the
In the
back of the
regular
greats,
season,
just as a football player.
no, I'm saying in the regular season. In the regular season, I'll put him in great. I'll put him in great, 100%,
But Darren, by
100%.
that standpoint, we got to move everybody. We got to move everybody down a tier. Trevor really has one win in the playoffs. Kyler hasn't done shit in the playoffs. Tua
No,
hasn't.
I'm saying I agree with you. We can keep Dak in great. I'm just making the caveat that once it comes to the playoffs, we're going into the regular season, so I'll have no problem putting Dak in great. I'm talking about when we go to the playoffs, he's one of the only people on this list that drops down 2 slots instead of just one.
He's average in the playoffs.
Yes.
But
And you know it too. I
but
want you to know.
as a football player as a whole, what is he? As a football player, not no caveats. Does his playoff performance drop him down to good?
No. I'll keep him in great right now.
Okay.
The only reason why is because the defense last year was the reason more so that they did not. Offense too, but the defense just did not get home. So I'll just do that too. It's hard to leave it just quarterback play sometimes. But yeah.
All right. The next one, Baker Mayfield. I think this is pretty easy. I think he's good. I think he's in the back of good, but I think he's good.
He's not in the back. He's better than Derek Carr.
You think so?
I know so. He's better than Derek Carr. His arm talent, he brings that moxie of wanting, like, yeah, he's better than Derek Carr.
I don't think that's super definitive. I think he's just way younger than Derek Carr at this point.
That takes a factor, but it's also he's better. They went head to head in the division last year. Baker came out. We
Yes,
can you
their teams
if
played
you
each
want
other, Darren. Quarterbacks technically don't play each other. You know what I'm saying?
to, yeah. I don't know if I could argue this still though, but I think he's better than Derek Carr. This is just my opinion. Like just pure throwing the ball because that's both of them really don't run like that.
Right.
Like so, if I'm just looking at arm talent and put it like this, you gave Baker Mayfield a number one, a real number one. Because I like Odell, but he's not Mike Evans. Let's put it like that. He's not Mike Evans. Some people will take that and do what you want with that, but you put Baker with Mike Evans, you saw what Mike Evans did. Consistent. You put Derek Carr with Devontae Adams, the numbers went a little bit. I look. I feel like we're splitting hairs, but I just think Baker Mayfield's better.
Okay, cool. I don't think the Odell to Mike Evans comparison's fair though. And I only say that because they're completely different receivers.
I would argue Mike Evans more than Devontae's type of, but I see what you're saying.
Well, I think Devontae and Odell are more comparable than Mike Evans.
All right, so we're about to go into a totally different topic.
Yeah,
So
that's
let's just go back. Let's rein it back in. Rein it back in. Let's go.
the next quarterback is Caleb Williams.
To be determined.
I think so too. I think so too. I expect him to be in this great to elite tier at some day. Hopefully, 2 years by his third year, I expect him to be there and competing with the Bears in the playoffs. Here's another good one: Justin Herbert. You're not gonna like me for this. I don't think you're gonna like me for this one, Darren.
Probably not. Go ahead.
I think he's right here. Oh, I think he's in the good tier, but not above Tua. And I know, now I forget the black coach's name, so I can't even make that joke. Who's
Brian
the?
Flores.
I know
Brian
Brian Flores disagrees with me, but this is just how I see it right now. And maybe it's not all Justin Herbert's fault because his team kind of is pretty trash since he's gotten there. But I see him around this. He hasn't really reached a great tier yet.
Not at all. I kind of debate where you put him, but I kind of understand it. I feel like the only difference is his offense that he was in before asked him to be great. Same thing with Trevor. Just ask these guys to be, hey, go winners of the game.
Yeah.
Whereas Tua's system is, Doug, hand this ball off to these fast ass running backs. Play point guard and get the ball to Tyreek. Just get the ball to him. Whereas Justin Herbert is, no, you need to read, find the big play if it's there, and then still throw the ball deep if it's not there. Like it's like type. I feel like it's a much different system. Like he has to be the hero, where Tua can actually be a football player.
All right. Next, Aaron Rodgers,
Put him up there.
elite.
Yeah,
One of the
put him up
goats, in my opinion. One of the best quarterbacks that's ever played the game. Pretty easy.
Yep.
Jalen Hurts. I think Jalen's personally great.
He-
He's
Yeah.
he's basically the Eagles' offense in a way. The way how much he can do with the ball, with the tush pushes and the power runs. He can throw the ball deep. He does everything you can ask him to do, and he played amazing in that Super Bowl. He went to.
Yeah,
I put him number one for right now in the great.
I have no problem with that.
Next up, Kirk Cousins, the new quarterback
you-
for the Atlanta Falcons.
Don't you put that man in no average? He good. He probably I'll
He
put him
back
in the
here
top.
though.
No,
He
no,
back there though.
no,
I think he's
no,
average there. I think he's Applebee's. I'm
no.
telling you,
You're wild.
he's Applebee's.
How does Justin Jefferson have the seasons he have with Kirk Cousins? How does
Offense,
Stephon Diggs have the seasons
offensive
with Kirk
scheme,
Cousins?
offensive scheme. Specifically, because guess what? Justin Jefferson
Wrong.
didn't have those seasons until they got that new head coach. Remember Justin's? How am I wrong?
Stephon Diggs had those seasons before he went to the Buffalo Bills. Adam Thielen had those seasons when he was there. Motherfucking Jordan Addison's having those seasons right now, but you're talking about systems, so yeah.
All I'm saying is, I think his name is Kevin O'Connell, right?
Yeah, he's great.
When he came in, the first thing Justin Jefferson did is like, how are you going to get me those Cooper Cup touches? They forced that nigga the ball in their offense. I don't think that's on Kirk. I think that's Justin being great, being
You're-
elite technically.
You're wrong. I'm sorry. He's better than Trevor right now.
That's cap.
Like putting the ball where it needs to be.
Like if you want to say he's
He's-
better than Derek Carr, I would disagree
Yeah.
with you, but we can do that.
He's
But nah,
100% better than Derek.
I'm
Carr.
taking
You're-
all these niggas above him in a heartbeat. In a heartbeat.
Are we talking about taking people? Because this list is not.
No, we're talking about where we're rating QBs at.
We should probably save Kurt for last because this is getting crazy, Rob.
You think we should save him?
Dog, just put him where you had him because that ain't right. That ain't right. I'm gonna be honest. You're just wrong. There's no way you can say, bro.
Personally, I think
what?
he's average, but you argue me up to good.
Baker is on his fourth team.
What does that
Justin
mean?
Herbert melted down in a playoff game.
How many times have you said, "Yo, Cook Cousins just won them that football game"?
A couple times.
I can say that about Baker. Baker's won multiple football games, specifically in Cleveland.
We're gonna disagree.
The biggest one of them all was that playoff game against Pittsburgh.
We're gonna disagree.
Has Kirk Cousins ever won a playoff game? Oh, okay. I guess he won that Stephon Diggs walk-off one. That's the only one I could think of.
There we go.
That's the only one I could think of.
It counts.
All right. Next, another easy one. Lamar Jackson. Elite. I think he's better than both of those niggas right now. He's elite. Okay. This is another hard one. I think because he's only played a handful of games, I think we have to put Anthony Richardson in TBD.
Yeah.
But I'm putting him over Caleb. Because he's my favorite QB prospect in recent history.
But Caleb is everybody's.
What do you mean?
Everybody's favorite football prospect. That's what I'm saying.
That's just because they're comparing him to Patrick Mahomes.
But he's everybody's favorite.
I see Cam Newton.
Most people would rather have Patrick Mahomes than Cam Newton. You know that, right?
But would you rather have Cam Newton that runs a 4.3?
I'd rather have Patrick Mahomes because he's not going to get hit.
All right. Who's this?
Michael Penix Jr.
Okay, he's on TBD then. Actually, he's not even in elite. He's backup. We're not going to do him. Is Drake May hurt?
He's the backup.
All right, we're not going to do him then. Joe Flacco. Who's this?
Drew Lock.
We're not doing him. Bryce Young.
Oh my god, this one hurts so bad.
I think we have to put him in trash. But I don't.
Hell no.
I don't think it's fair. I think we have to though.
Nah. Nah, dog. Nah. To be determined.
Are we gonna give him some more time?
You got to.
Because his team's dog shit.
He had 2 coaches last year. And that was his rookie year. And technically he beat the Texans, where a lot of people didn't.
All right. Next up, Deshaun Watson. Easy. Boom. All right.
Wait. We're just talking about now, right now, right? We're not talking about years, but like their whole career, right?
I mean, you can add it. You can use that to help influence it. But let's be honest, he kind of destroyed his career in Cleveland. He went from, oh, this dude's going to be the next big thing in Houston to dog shit. Darren, he's horrible. He looks horrible out there.
He does, and I can't defend it, so I'll just put trash. But I'm not saying his Texans career. I'm just saying,
So far in Cleveland.
yeah, with Cleveland. Like I'm doing this as right now.
Who's this? Is this Will Levis?
I believe so.
Where do you put Will Levis at?
To be determined, but he has a very small leash. The reason why is because he only had D Hop last year, and I didn't believe their offensive coordinator.
All right, Daniel Jones.
And it dimes. He's average.
He's super average. He does a lot of great things.
Not consistently.
But not consistently. Not consistently. And I truthfully don't think he can throw the ball. So here's another polarizing one that people always talk about. Brock Purdy. I think he's in the good tier. But I don't
at the top of the tier.
I don't the problem with Brock Purdy though is I don't know how good he is. I know he's good, but I don't know if he's great or elite because his team's so good around him. And that's my point. So I don't know how good he really is. Like if you put him on another team right now, I don't think we look at him the same. I think he'll still be in the league. I think he'll still be starting, but we don't look at him like we do now. Because we look at him like a great quarterback, even though I think he's just a good quarterback.
All right, but you got to put him at the top of good. I think he might be great, to be real with you, because situational, I think he might be better than all of the quarterbacks in good. Like just, hey, what is going on in this play? George Kittle's covered, Ayuk's covered, Devo's covered. Go, like he can still run too. That's the thing. That's why I like Brock Purdy. He uses his feet. It's not people talk about the talent he's working with, and I get it. It's a Hall of Fame team, but he does some things that you're just like, oh, bro, that was exactly what you needed on that play. And I don't think some other quarterbacks give you that personally. Better scrambler than Tua. Let me stop. Go ahead.
Next one's an easy one. Patrick Mahomes, best quarterback in the league. No questions. There's no really debate on that one. Jaden Daniels, Matthew Stafford, in my opinion, the most underrated quarterback in NFL history, in recent NFL history. Even though I don't know if that's true anymore since he won the Super Bowl, I feel like people have been giving him more credit. But what do you want to put Matt Stafford at?
Elite.
Elite?
Elite.
Darren, I'd rather put him in the great.
He's elite.
I don't know if he's better than. I think he's at the top of great personally. Why do you have him in the league?
Super Bowl champion. He was good in Detroit, but his teams was always bad. He goes to LA. He wins the Super Bowl his first year there. Let's just say that off rip. Not only that, his second target in that Super Bowl, who we would argue was his first target in the actual Super Bowl, goes down Odell because he was killing it and
Unguardable.
unguardable in that Super Bowl, and he still wins it. And that his arm might be the two people on this list have a better arm than him, and they're in elite company. Aaron Rodgers and Mahomes,
I
like
forget.
just pure arm talent. Like, oh my God, how did you get that ball there? The no look passes. Who else? What we talk about with no look passes?
Pat
No, before him,
before Pat.
before Patrick Mahomes was in the league, before we were talking about Matthew Stafford, even Aaron Rodgers was said it. He was like, bro, Matthew Stafford was doing that with the Lions, and we just didn't give him credit for it.
No, we didn't see him do it because we only watched that nigga on Thanksgiving.
Thank you. You got to put him in the league.
Um,
Triple crown
I
winner.
forget. I forget. I think it was the first game of the year they won the Super Bowl. First week one, he had this throw to Cooper Cup that was gorgeous. That was gorgeous. I just forget who was against.
I remember he had one against Tampa Bay in the playoffs, and it was at Tampa Bay. Beautiful throw to Cooper Cup.
All right. Next up, Russell Wilson.
Average. He played good last year. They just.
I think he's had. I think he's a good quarterback though.
I don't think he's good.
Are you saying he's not good anymore? Because how'd you feel about him when he was in Seattle?
I thought I can't even go back. He was good. Good there. He wasn't great there. He was good. He was great at times, but it was because of his run game more than it was him.
In
And
his
then
defense.
the more we started saying, hey, let Russ cook, his numbers went crazier, but they started losing more and more games.
I thought that was because they started breaking up the Legion of Boom slowly.
Nah.
Because they had to pay Russ. Because that Legion after that second Super Bowl they lost, they went to the Super Bowl the second time and they lost it. That team slowly fell apart.
You gotta put them in average though, bro. Like just off the past 2 years that we've seen, trash and then good. So we don't know if it was Nathaniel Hackett.
Mm-hmm.
Did Sean McVay make you better? Him with Pittsburgh is going to tell me a lot more about his legacy. I'm gonna be honest with you.
Okay. All right. Next, Gardner Minshew.
Average is by the back of average right now. Yeah. He's better than Danny Dimes.
Is he?
He is. Oh shit! Never mind. You got to put Danny Dimes in front of him. Sorry.
All right. This is gonna be a fun one. Jared Goff. Personally, I think he's great. Especially the way he's been playing recently. I feel like he was good for a lot of his career, but since he came to the Lions, except for that first year, he's been playing pretty great. He's just solid.
It's hard to deny it.
And you could argue good, but I don't know where you want to put him in good.
I'm saying I like Jared Goff with the Rams too, though. So the only thing about him is he just needs the clean pocket. You give him a clean pocket, he's better than a lot of these people on this list.
All right.
One of the best Monday night games I've ever seen is him and Patrick Mahomes. Jordan Love next. Is that it?
Yep. Jordan Love. I think he's good. I think he might be great. By the end of the season, he might be great, but I think right now he's good. And here's where we're gonna have our discussion.
Where do you put him at? Oh fuck no, you're tripping. Oh fuck no. Whoa. No. Absolutely move that man up.
I don't think he's better than any of those niggas. Maybe Justin Herbert. But I don't think he's better than any of those niggas.
I watched the Dallas playoff game with this man. This same person who just said this. I can't even believe this.
That's because Dallas couldn't get there.
You're wrong. I'll let you have this one, but you are 100% wrong. The fact that he can move better than Tua, he's still accurate. Like, what are we talking about? Went to the playoffs at Dallas and it shut them up. I don't know how you do this, but I'll leave it alone. Let Go ahead, man.
Next up,
He,
Joe Breezy, Joe Cool.
Jordan Love's gonna be great next year. By the end of next year, but I'm gonna leave it alone.
There, it might be the end
Joe
of this
Cool.
year.
That's what I'm saying. At the end of this year, that's what I meant. Joe Cool, Joe Breezy,
Joe
Joe Burrow.
Shiesty.
Whoa, whoa, whoa!
I think he's right there.
I have no problem with this.
I think you can argue Josh Allen being better than him, but I don't know. I think he just seems too dialed in every fucking game, like just locked in. And he always, I feel like he, for the most part, he always makes the right decision.
He makes better decisions with the ball than Josh Allen. I agree with you. Better. His man. He can pass the ball. I think that's everybody, right?
No, Geno Smith.
Oh,
I think he's good.
Geno's average.
You think?
Geno's in the front of average. I like Geno, but I don't know. I don't know. That's a tough one. That's a tough one. And they made the playoffs 2 years ago, right? Before Jackson Smith and Jigma.
Yes.
They really didn't have much on that defense back then. I don't know, dog. I don't know. You can put him. Gino, you don't know what you're going to get from Gino. He can play good. He can play average, but he's somewhere in that range.
Agreed. All right.
I'm,
Looking at this list for one last time, how do you feel about this list looking at it?
I'm still mad about the Jordan Love thing, the Kirk Cousins thing, but I'm leaving. Those are my only two real. I think I disagree with you with. I would probably put Jared Goff in front of Dak.
Mm-hmm.
Honestly, you got to put him in front of old boy too, CJ.
I think that's a lot.
But but I have no problem with that. That's probably where I'm at with it.
My only problem, I think we have one too many elites. I don't think there's that many elite quarterbacks in the league. And
I think you win a game from any of those guys. Any of those guys win you a game.
I can say the same thing about these guys in the great though.
I don't.
CJ, Jared, and well, maybe not Jared, but Jalen, CJ, and Dak.
The only reason why CJ isn't an elite yet is because we need more time. He's great, but still with a to be determined.
Agree.
You know,
Yeah.
that's the only reason why he's not elite. Jalen Hurts, you said win the game because of him. I'll disagree with you. I will argue similar to Brock Purdy, he has a lot around him. He had Kelsey. He had the left tackle. Can't remember his name off the top of my head.
Lane Johnson.
He had sorry, what?
Lane Johnson.
Lane Johnson. AJ Brown is there. Devontae Smith is there. Dallas Goedert, who's a very good tight end. They've had really good running backs these past 2 years. And now Saquon is there. I would argue he has a lot around him. Same with Jared Goff. No problem with that. CJ's entering that now where he has a lot around him. The only person that's in great who doesn't have a lot around him going into this year is Dak.
Mm-hmm.
So that's where I'm at with it. I don't know who you would take out the elite.
It'll be Matt Stafford. I'll move him down one tier.
You're wrong. The second he got to a team with an offensive coordinator, he won a Super Bowl. How can you say no? How can you say that's not elite? Would you say he had a lot around him during that Super Bowl? Because I will only Aaron Donald and Cooper Kupp.
Jalen Ramsey.
Name me somebody, huh?
Jalen Ramsey.
Jalen Ramsey was there.
Those are the big three stars, though. Odell was there for his hot second, but he only played great in the Super Bowl. Yeah, that's about it.
You got to put Matthew Stafford up there, bro. Patrick Mahomes won Super Bowls with a lot more. I would argue even Joe Burrow had more. into that Super Bowl with Jamar Chase and T Higgins, even if they were young. But we got to wrap this up.
Definitely, we definitely gonna wrap this up. Let us know down below what you think of our list, what we got wrong, what we got right. And we'll see y'all next time. Peace.
Peace. Y'all stay up. Football is back, baby.